Google Ads can be a powerful tool for growing your business when used correctly. But if you execute the wrong strategy, it could cost you a ton of money and it might not be effective. In this video, I'll guide you through everything you need to know to evaluate and set up a successful Google Ad campaign in just 3 simple steps. So why consider Google Ads in the first place? The answer is visibility. With millions of searches every day, Google provides a massive platform for your ads. It's flexible, measurable, and you only pay for results. But it's not just about throwing money at Google Ads and hoping it works. It's all about the strategy and making sure that you set it up right. For some industries, Google Ads just won't make sense. That's because the cost per click might be too high, or there just might not be a lot of people searching for your specific product or service on Google. So that's why we start with evaluating the opportunity, or an opportunity analysis. This is how I always start off my Google Ads campaigns. At the end of it, you'll be able to decide whether or not Google Ads are a good idea for you. Now, it'll take you a bit of time, but in the end, it's actually going to save you a lot more time, and it will save you a ton of money. We're talking hundreds or even thousands of dollars if it turns out that Google Ads is just not the right approach for you. So here's my 3-step process for conducting an opportunity analysis and de-risking any potential campaigns. We start with a competitor analysis, then we look at keyword research, and finally, we look at the expected number of conversions and the cost for each conversion. Let's start with step 1. Did you know you can see your competitors' ads on Google? It's actually really easy to do this. You can learn a lot from what competitors are doing and avoid the mistakes they might be making. Also, it will help you differentiate your ads from competitors. To start, just Google your competitors and highly relevant keywords. I recommend doing this in a private browser. Now, if you start with a competitor keyword, you'll notice that many competitors will actually run what's called a branded campaign. That's where they bid for keywords that are related to their specific brand. Doing this is usually low cost, unless you're a massive brand, and it ensures you a top spot, even if competitors are also ranking for your keywords. So imagine I run a local dog clothing company. Canada Pooch, a popular dog brand here in Toronto, is one of my competitors. If I go to Google search and I type in Canada Pooch, I can immediately see some of the ads that they're running. But I can see even more with the Google Ads Transparency Center. Just click on the 3 dots in the corner of an ad and you'll be able to see all of the current and previous ads that this competitor has been running on the different Google platforms. This includes text ads, Google Display, and YouTube. But there are definitely more competitors than the ones I know about, right? That's why it's helpful to look up relevant keywords. So if I go back to Google and I type in dog coats Toronto, let's see what comes up. Here I can see what else comes up under sponsored listings, and this can help inform the types of content I put in my ads, as well as what other competitors are doing. Now, you can also use tools like Ahrefs or SEMrush for this, but if you don't have a paid account and you don't want to get one, the Google Ads Transparency Center works just fine. Once you have some competitor ads, you can take them and incorporate them into your plan. If there are certain buzzwords that they're using in their copy, take note of them. They might be working really well, and that's why they're using them because they're driving a lot of clicks. Or if you notice later when we do our keyword research that they're just not good keywords for you to rank for, then you can purposefully remove them. Also, ask yourself how you can differentiate. What are they promoting? Are there anything that they're missing? Where is a niche where you can competitively differentiate from this other brand? Next, we're going to go to the Google Keyword Planner. This is my secret weapon when it comes to Google Ad campaigns. This tool is free and all you need is a Google Ads account. And I'm telling you, most people do not use it, so take advantage of it. Once you set it up, you can get keyword ideas as well as search volumes and forecasts. The first helps you find keywords and the second helps you predict how successful your campaign will be. Let's start with the first. To access the Keyword Planner, click Tools, Keyword Planner, Discover New Keywords. Then enter up to 10 of the keywords that you've identified while doing your competitor research into the keyword tool. Now filter through the clutter. If you're a Canadian business, you're going to want to set your location to specific regions and select the relevant languages. The key is to hone in on keywords that have the highest search volume, which means the highest number of user searches in a month, and the lowest difficulty, where your cost per click is going to be a reasonable amount. I usually filter by the highest volume first. Notice here you can also filter by branded and non-branded, specific pieces of clothing, items, and categories. Select all the keywords that are relevant to you and create a plan. Then you can click Forecast to see what your keywords might generate. It will also show you top locations, expected costs, and seasonal changes. You'll see your expected cost per click, cost per acquisition, impressions, and click-through rate. If you click the down arrow next to the forecast, you can also look at other metrics. Here I can see at what point a higher daily budget will start to provide diminishing returns. I usually run this process for branded keywords, my own business, competitor keywords, and then more generic or general terms. I'll run it until I'm satisfied with the number of keywords I have. Then I export these to a spreadsheet and I begin to categorize them based on their topic or category. These will later become my ad groups. The final step is to calculate your expected number of conversions and cost per conversion. Why do I do this? Well, the Google Ads data is great and it's already done a lot to help you de-risk your campaigns. But you can go a step further. When Google Ads gives you an expected cost per acquisition, it's doing this based on an estimated conversion rate. That means it's making a best guess at how many people will actually purchase a product once they've made it through your site. Now, I've seen some businesses be pretty close to that expected cost per acquisition that Google forecasts, but I've also seen businesses that are really outside of that range. So it's a good idea to do your own metrics and be a little bit more conservative. So I export my data into a Google Sheet and I test it at a lower conversion rate than what Google does. This will help me be more conservative so I know how much I can actually spend to acquire a customer. I like to test it at 1, 2, and 3%. Meaning that 1 to 3 people who click on one of your ads will go ahead and make a purchase on your site. You can see how it changes the cost per acquisition. Based on this data, you can make an informed decision about whether or not you should run a Google Ads campaign. It will also help you identify which ad groups to start with. Can you afford to pay this much to acquire a single customer? If you don't know, think about how much you sell your product or service for, and the average deal size or cart size per user. To be extra conservative, you can assume that they won't be a repeat customer. Now look at the CPA data again. Can you afford to pay that for a single customer? If the CPA is sufficiently below the sale and you make a profit, then it's a go.